Alright guys, welcome back to another operaomnia video where we are going to be talking about the 7-star armors that are coming to the upcoming characters for the month of January in global operaomnia. So if you do enjoy this video, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe for future content as I am trying to hit 500 subscribers before the end of 2020. I have literally 2 days because I am recording this video on the 30th right now. So your support would be much greatly appreciated. So let's go ahead and jump right into it real quick though. Big shout out to dissidiaoperaomnia as always for the information provided in this video. Now I will say that I kind of forgot to do this video, I think, for the month of November and December. I said, or I think I said, that I was going to do these type of videos because it seemed like it was helpful to some players out there. And then when I got a comment last night on my video asking a question, I noticed that that video kind of exploded and I did not realize that. So I apologize for the delay in these types of videos. I will continue to do so. Make sure to get this information out there to everybody before the start of fresh content that comes to global operaomnia. So let's talk about Cloud. Cloud is going to be the next, or I guess like the first character in January that is getting his 7-star armor alongside with his LD and his BT. Now Cloud's 7-star armor is called Cloud's Uniform. What it does is it is a brave damage dealt that can exceed the limit by 9,999 by 15%. So it'll go up to 11,498. Now this only applies to himself. Now I picked up his 7-star armor because Final Fantasy VII, and like Final Fantasy VII is my most favorite game. But as if you take that out and you look at his kit and his rework and everything that he is getting that is coming up to global operaomnia, he actually does benefit from this, because if you create a solid team comp with or around Cloud, he can actually dish out pretty good damage. And the thing is though, Cloud has high attack, so to give him the ability to be able to dish out more brave damage is a big plus for him. And I would recommend to anybody who does pull for his kits to also grab his 7-star armor, because it will definitely help you out in dishing out extra damage onto whatever fight enemies that you are going up against. So Cloud 7-star armor is one that I would definitely pick up if it were me. Next up is going to be Beatrix. Now Beatrix is going to be a Lost Chapter unit, seeing as how she was a global first exclusive. Now Beatrix is 7-star armor, which is called Encouragement's Keystone. It increases the brave granted by 30%. Now, I assume that this is going to be based off of what she gives off from her skill 2, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember her skill set correctly, and also from her LD, because she will be getting an LD with the return of her event or her Lost Chapter. So, not too bad of a 7-star armor. I myself, seeing as how she already gives a decent amount of brave, and most likely I will probably have other units next to her when it comes to giving any brave to the party or to herself or whatever. I am actually going to skip out on picking up a 7-star armor because I don't feel like she needs it. Because when I have used Beatrix before, at least this is from my own experience, it felt like I didn't always really reach the cap damage for her. So I don't really feel like that extra, like, what, 1,000 damage would make too much of a difference for her, at least for myself. So this 7-star armor is pretty optional for anybody if they are wondering as to whether or not you should pick up her 7-star armor. Next up is going to be the new character for the month of January, at least the first. No, this is going to be the only new character for the month of January, which is going to be Zande. Now Zande with his 7-star armor, which is called, let me check real quick because I believe I said Beatrix thing wrong. Oh, Zande Zande's pants. So Zande's pants what it does is it gives him brave damage that can exceed past the 999. So this is very similar to Cloud 7-star armor. So this is Zande. I did pull for him in JP, and he is, I don't know, man. There's like, don't get me wrong, he's an alright unit, but I don't know if I would pick up his 7-star armor because his kit, man, I'd have to make a separate video on him. Like I'll be 100% honest to talk about more about Zande, because I know, or I feel like a lot of people are probably going to skip him, especially if they already have Leon and his EX. Zande, he does dark damage. He's more focused on doing dark type attacks, and I don't know, I'd have to make a separate video on him. But for me personally, his 7-star armor, I mean you can pick it up if you want to, but I mean, it's not really, I don't know, again, I have to make a separate video on him, because the only time that I used Zande was in this event, and that's it. So you guys can kind of decide with that, but I will make a separate video talking about him more in depth as to what he does, etc., and then y'all can decide on that. But yeah, that's his 7-star armor is basically the same thing as Cloud's. Next up is going to be Firion. Now Firion with a 7-star armor called Firion model. Now his is a support type 7-star armor because it raises the party's attack by 5%. Obviously you want to have as much attack as possible, so this is a very good option to pick up to not only support him with that 5% bonus, but also for the party. So not too bad of a 7-star armor right there. After that, we have XDev, who is returning with his lost chapter. Now XDev's 7-star armor, which is called, I literally just had it, where are you? It is called XDev's boots. XDev's boots, it is it's like a tactical type of 7-star armor, which it's the same thing as Reno's, where it lowers all enemies initial brave, max brave, attack by 10%, and defense by 20%. This is optional. I've never really picked up 7-star armors like that would do all of these negative effects on the enemy. But if you feel like you need it, I would say you can go for it. I mean, plus he can also go past the HP limit, so he can go up to 114,998. So I mean, that's the other plus to that. But other than that, I mean, it's up to you. It's up to you if you want to pick up the 7-star armor. But for XDev's kit, seeing as how he is a gravity based damage dealer, it's man, it's really optional. It really is. It really depends on how often you're going to be using XDev, and if you feel like you can easily cap out on his damage with his gravity based attack. So that's XDev right there. And then finally, we're going to be talking about Dark Knight Cecil with his Demon Shield. Now Demon Shield, what it does is basically the same thing as Cloud. Now I would personally pick up his 7-star armor because he is a launcher, and once he gets his LD and his rework, he is going to be dishing out damage even outside of synergy. So if you want to dish out the most damage that Dark Knight Cecil is able to do, I would personally pick up his 7-star armor based off of what I have seen, some experience. Whenever I use him as a friend unit, he is actually a pretty good unit, and I feel like a lot of people kind of doubt on what he does, especially after he gets his LD and his rework. Oh my god, he is so much fun to use. But yeah, if you do build him up, or if you already have him built up and you do pick up his LD whenever the first boss rush comes through Global Operaomnia, his 7-star armor is worth it. It really is. It'll definitely help him out in capping damage, passing the HP damage limit, etc. So but yeah, that's gonna be it for the video, guys. Hopefully this information was helpful. Hopefully it'll give you an idea as to whether or not you should pick up the 7-star armors for these 6 units that are coming up to Operaomnia. Now of course there are going to be some other 7-star armors that are going to be released, but I do not have the full list as to who is actually getting 7-star armors, because it varies. They kind of mix it up here and there, and sometimes they be throwing random 7-star armor. So I mean, if you do have a question about a certain 7-star armor for a unit that I did not talk about in this video, you feel free to comment in the comment section below, or if not, you can always go to dissidiaodb.com. That link will be down in the description below, so that way you can look it up and you can see as to whether or not the armor is worth it for them or not. So anyways, that's gonna be it for the video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and I will catch you guys in the next one.